going to do some recording. I started this, like everything I'm doing, I don't know if you've been following me, but everything I'm doing is just guided. I'm not sitting around going, why don't we do a conference call? Or why don't I put together a directory? I think I'll do a world tour. I mean, none of this stuff is. I'm following orders of the high command, and it seems to be working out.
There you go.
Oh, good. Yeah.
And so I've got notes of what we're going to do today. Can you guys stay for at least an hour?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay, what typically happens in these conference calls is they're scheduled for an hour-ish because some people have time commitments, crunches, they jump off the line, and whoever stays, we can stay another 30 minutes, and then we can keep on going. All right? Did you all bring refreshments?
Yeah.
Right there.
I admittedly already had mine
Jess?
before the recording.
It's official. Jess is in the water family too? Wonderful. So
Cool.
before I go into the etiquette, I'm just going to tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to announce the etiquette, do a word of gratitude, have a communion, do the update, and then we've got 2 commercials. Would you like to see the commercials first?
Sure.
Or wait.
Let's do it.
Have you seen these
Okay.
commercials? Have you seen the Shibambu commercials?
I don't think so.
All right, well, I haven't figured out to screen share these puppies yet, so I'm just going to play it off my iPad, and somehow it's going to work.
Okay.
I'm not the techie that other people are. Okay, hold on. All right, I got to start her over. You don't hear that. Okay. Oh,
I did see this.
all right, that was Shauna Soul Sister out in California. And then the new one is from a friend, Lonnie, who's in British Columbia. And she did this. All right, let's see if we can get her to get started. Can you see that? How do I?
It's pretty bright, but yeah.
Oh my goodness. Lonnie, right there. Here goes. Hold on a second. We need some volume. Volume. If I have it upside down, no wonder.
ambhu.org.
Oh, Lonnie, not yet. Hold
Free
on.
membership in the Shivambu hut. Aloha, I'm Lonnie. It is my pleasure and honor to welcome you and all visitors to the Water of Life Journey or Path, the worldwide water family and the Shivambu movement. For the world's best resource of all things and everything that makes Shivambu the perfect medicine, visit shivambu.org. shivambu.org. Get a free membership in the Shivambu hut. We are a growing community of water sisters and brothers who meet to learn, teach, and exchange ideas. You'll find the link to the hut at shivambu.org. To find a urine therapy teacher near you, or for someone anywhere on earth, go to brothersage.com. brothersage.com. Click on the About tab and explore the Water Family directory. Welcome to the Water Family.
All right, what'd you think of those?
Sounds cool.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Where are you going to advertise these? Or have you thought about that?
Where are you going to advertise it?
Sure.
I posted it on different social media platforms: Telegram, Instagram, Facebookgram,
Yeah.
and I also posted it at the hut. But it's everything I do is designed to be duplicatable. So if anybody wants to take anything that we produce at Shivambu, like the commercials, run with it.
Very cool.
That's the whole idea. So let's start off with etiquettes, and then we'll do a communion here. Real simple. If you have something to say, raise your hand. I had to do this because we got some people who jump on these calls. They have no clue about, how to do a live Zoom call. Try not to eat while you're in front of the camera. There's some people decided they want to eat while we're watching a show. Mute your camera if you got to eat. Mute your microphone. Actually, better than that, if you want to mute yourself when you're not talking, that way if the kids run through or the dog starts barking or something falls and breaks, we won't have background noise. Okay, understand the etiquette? Everybody's important. So just like every drop of water is important. Want to hear from each and every one of you. Let's do a communion and get going into some of the things that we've been doing out here, and then I want to hear from each and every one of you. Grab your water. Are you familiar? You guys know what kirtan is?
A little bit.
A little bit. Okay, it's devotional music. It's chanting. And the way they do it is in a form called caller response, which means who's ever the leader, he says the line, and then everybody else responds. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Reading from the Healing Water from Within book, page X1V, the Sacred Water Prayer, in case you want to know about that later on. Here we go. I take this water of life.
I take this water of life.
Water of life.
You guys are quick. You pick up really fast. Thank you. I declare it the water of light.
I declare it the water of
Water
light.
of light.
Sounds cool. The whole group says this. As I bring this water within this body,
As I bring this water within this body,
Water.
it allows me
it allows me to glow.
and your dog.
Uh-oh.
Allows me to-
I take this water of light.
I take this water of
Take
light.
this water of light.
I declare it the water of God.
I declare it the water of
Water
God.
of God.
I am the master
Declare it
of all
the water
that I
of God.
do and all that I am.
I am the master of all that I
Master
do
of
and
all that I
am.
do and all that I am.
Cheers.
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 I like Gia's. Her water's nice and clear. So, just to get caught up, I don't know if you guys are paying attention to what we're doing out here in Colorado, but we put together a nonprofit organization called Shivambu. It's the Global Shivambu Awareness Ministry, and it's designed to spread the education and awareness of urine therapy. Daniel, snort some up your nose. Stay with us. It's designed to spread the message while building infrastructure so that anybody on the planet can plug into this, either through a social media platform which we designed called Shivambu Hut. I put together the Water Family Directory. I'd love to have you guys listed. If anybody wants to be listed as a teacher or a therapist, then anybody can find someone close by, either for themselves or somebody else who might live in another country. So to find that, you go to brothersage.com and look for the About tab, and it's on the bottom of that drop-down menu. We're starting the Shivambu Hut. Are you guys members?
No.
Okay, well, it's the hottest social media group about urine therapy on the planet. As of this morning, we have 606 members, and it tripled from last year. Yes, Gia Marie, it tripled.
That's great.
It all happened when I joined forces with Dr. Edward Group out in Houston, and we both did an interview of each other. And then he started promoting my books, and I started promoting his work, and we formed a great alliance, and things started picking up. Book sales are picking up, Shivambu Hut's picking up, all kinds of things are starting to increase. So get out to the hut if you haven't had a chance. The Water Family Directory I already mentioned. My books are being translated into German, Japanese, and Portuguese, and 2 people just showed up to help translate it into Hindi. So I want it also in Hindi, in Tamil, and some African nations, some of the African countries out there. Because some of the large population of urine therapists or urine therapy teachers are in Nigeria, Botswana, Kenya, and Johannesburg. So give them a call. Let's get them part of this. I am working on taking this book, the original book that came out in 2018, and we're going to shrink it down into it's a pocket-sized book with about approximately 100 pages and really inexpensive. So anybody can start passing these out in person. Help people to understand this gift of life that they never heard about or they hadn't considered. But within this book is the best of both of these books, the manual. And this is a great way to introduce people to the subject matter. And if you guys are bold, you could leave it on your coffee table or your toilet tank so your guests will come by and go, "You do what?" So that's what's going on. I'm also putting together the Shivambu tour of the United States before I go global. And this is going to piggyback with a documentary called Following the Shivambu Trail, in which we take a cameraman and assistant on this journey, and we go to city after city and help people not only set up organized meeting group like we did in Boulder. What we did in Boulder was we got permission from the downtown library to reserve one of their meeting rooms. And then we also had a meetup.com meetup group. We had as many as 8, 10, 12 people that would show up every week or 2 weeks. And then Channel 7, Channel 9 heard about us, and they came in and did a show. And so we've got all this recorded and documented. So if anybody wants to copy this model, you can do that, including how to host a table in a popular plaza in your town. I got permission and a permit from the city. They said, "Sure, go ahead. You got a nonprofit? Sure, no problem." So we set up, and I brought out 3 of my students. One of them was filming. And in 4 hours, we had 35 guests come by and said, "What the heck is urine therapy?" So what we want to do is give you guys the same opportunity, if you got the cojones, to start talking about it in your community. And I know Jess is just dripping with excitement. She's got to go and tell the world. So I've got urine therapy training courses coming up. The next one is the 19th. It's a 15-hour course, 15-hour, 6-part series. There is 5 scheduled on the 19th that have registered, and then after that, there's going to be one May the 17th. So if you guys want to really, really dig in and know what this material is all about, I encourage you to do that. And when you graduate, you get a cool certificate. Okay, and the last 2 things I'm going to announce. I hope you guys will want to have fun with this one. The first one is the Shivambu or Urine Face Plunge Challenge. You are asked to get a container big enough to put your face in. It could be something like your foot soak tub. It could be a giant salad bowl. You got to use your imagination in this movement. And so the idea is for you to put your face in the urine. Now, the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to go underneath the water with a snorkel. And you want to go under the water. Daniel, hold on a second. You want to go under the water, open your eyes, and stay in the water as long as you can. 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever you want. That's why you got to have a snorkel. And if there's any way you could get a glass container and you could film through the glass to see your face. Jess, you got to do this, Jess. This is great. So it's the Urine Face Plunge Challenge. And then you want to send me the recording. The other challenge is the 7-day Shivambu Saturation Challenge. We did this 3 years ago. And the challenge is for you to use as many protocols as you can every day for a week. Whether you're fasting, doing foot soaks, body massages, eye rinses, ear rinses, nose drinking, belly button soaks, enemas, body massage, you want to keep saturating and saturating and saturating, not just doing the drinking because the drinking's cool, but when you start incorporating the other protocols and you start driving more nutrients into your cells, into your blood, it speeds up the healing. Any feedback on it? Daniel, you wanna weigh in on this?
Yeah, I mean, yesterday I hadn't done it in a long time, but I was taking my quote unquote shower, if you know what I mean.
You
So
break
I had
and you get a better
the
reception.
bin filled with, can you hear me? You can hear me, right? I'm assuming you can hear me,
Yes.
but
Much better.
I
Go
can
ahead.
hear you.
okay. So yesterday I had put off my shower for a while, which means my collection just builds up. So I filled this sort of garbage container with Urine, and then something I hadn't done in a while, but I just dunked my head, like head first, dunked my head down there, and then blew out my nose and held my breath as long as I could. That's kind of the way I do snorting personally. It's just like that right there is definitely plenty of snorting, but it felt good to do it. I hadn't done that in a while, but I definitely have found that's one way to definitely get the ball rolling, if you know what I mean.
Wonderful, wonderful. Are any of you guys drinking through the nose, snorting through the nose, squirting it up the nose? Which technique are you using? Which one do you like? Ed, go ahead.
Yeah, I personally haven't drunk through the nose or snorted through the nose yet myself. I have read about it and just the benefits of being able to clear out your sinuses very well, and that's something that I think I struggled with for a long time in my life, is just having a lot of congestion, which in turn affects your breathing. But I personally haven't done it yet.
All right, I'm going to show you a simple way, but let's go to Gia Marie.
Yeah, I've snorted it. I rinse every morning, snort every morning, rinse face, put through hair, wash my hair with it, don't rinse. Enemas, evolved enema. That's been interesting. That's a game changer. Also, connection with nature. I've been giving it to my cats, so we're more connected, more telepathically. I can from here, and yeah. And so when I go feed them in the morning, they're acting different. They're actually, let me back that up for a second. They were feral cats. Now they're not. And so it's a whole different relationship. I live on a ranch with horses, and they'll be next. And it's fun, fascinating. I'm finding different ways every day. Thanks to you, Brother Sage. And my husband and I are both exactly on the same page. So that helps. And we support each other in that. And he has some mercury detox issues. It's working. So it's good. It's good.
All right, so you're experimenting. Now when you're, hello, Chet.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Chet.
Hey, guys, sorry about this. I changed my name back to Matt. I was pissing too many old off. So sorry. My heart
Good call.
Okay.
Good
Hi,
call.
Matt.
I know you. I know he is, Matt.
As long as you didn't,
it's a nickname I'd love. So anyway, enough about me. How's everybody?
Good.
Good.
Great.
Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Gia Marie. Yes.
So what you walked into is a puddle of piss with some good old.
There you go.
And Gia Marie was sharing us that all the different protocols. And the question I have for you, Gia Marie, when you're taking it in the nose, are you snorting it through the palm of your hand, popping a glass back up your nose, using a spray bottle? What is your secret?
Hand, but I'm getting a nebulizer Haven't drank it through the nose. I've done other things like that. Haven't drank it through the nose yet. That's how I'm doing it, with the palm of the hand.
Nice.
For now. Mhm.
Okay, Ed, would you try something in front of a camera?
Sure.
All right, you still got your water in front of you?
I don't actually.
All right, do you have Jess's water in front of her?
I finished right just now.
Do you have any in your water closet in the back stock?
We're dog sitting right now away from home. So
Okay, well, if I can
So
hand
no.
if I can hand mine to you through the screen,
virtually. You can still tell me about it, Sage. I would
I
appreciate
will. I will. This is so cool. Get one of these things. It's called a cotton ball,
Yeah.
preferably organic. Anybody else want to try that? Matt, do you have your water?
I gotta make.
Hold
One
on.
second.
My tap is full. I'll put some under. I'll collect some. Nobody knows this, but on several of my classes and conference calls, I didn't want to leave the camera because I had to urinate. So I just, put this underneath the desk, and nobody knew what the heck's going on. But, we're family. We can pee ourselves in each other's presence. So you take one of these guys, you saturate it, right?
Mhm.
And give it a whiff. And this is the lazy man's way to snort.
Okay.
You got that? And then when you're done, if you don't snort at all, you're not going to waste it. You're going to still work on it. You can lick it off. It doesn't matter. It's just the magic water. Jess, did you figure out I'm sane yet?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
So, $2. You got 100 of these down at the store.
Yeah.
Daniel, do you want to add something?
Yeah, but what I was saying before is that if you fill a container of your own orange water and then you stick your head first and then blow out the nose, and then just kind of let the chips fall where they may, when you come back up, you will definitely find that you've done some snorting. And that's one way to get some snorting done.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can't say snorting has been my forte, but sometimes I'll take some in the palm of my hand and snort it up there a bit. And, so, and also if I need an enema, I've just found overnight, I'll build up a supply. If you drink all of it after a nighttime, you just chug it all, you will have your enema. It's coming through. The freight train's coming through. Is like a fire hose. You will get cleaned out.
You better find your way to the toilet quickly, because what happens is, that's perfect, Matt. What happens is you have multiple peristalsis activity. So the contractions start, and it's not uncommon you'll have 3 or 4 different waves of poop coming out of you. Now, this is very, very similar to what Stanley Burroughs was teaching in the 1970s. I took VitaFlex from Stanley Burroughs. He's the guy who started the Master Cleanser. You might have heard of the Master Cleanse with lemon, cayenne, water, and maple syrup. Well, he had a supplementary bowel recipe for people to clean out their bowels if they didn't want to do enemas, and it was a saltwater flush. He would have people drink an entire quart of lukewarm water with 1 teaspoon of salt in it, and it would clean out your whole GI tract. Well, there's sodium in here. There's potassium, there's magnesium, there's B vitamins, there's melatonin, there's thousands of things that help your body work better. The magnesium is what helps the muscles to relax, whether it's your bowel muscles, your heart muscles, your leg muscles, your brain muscles. So when you do that, and you nailed it, Daniel, but also what happened for me was 2 hours later, I had 2 more bowel movements.
Yeah, it just seems like, to me, it just seems like it's something that's built into you, and you just discover a mechanism that's there. It's it's almost like the opening of the floodgates. The body just says, okay, open the floodgates, let's dump it out. All right, we got more than we need. I guess we'll be cleaning out the back entrance here. So yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of like scrubbing bubbles. It comes in and loosens stuff up, and it takes out all the contaminants as well as the parasites.
Yeah, heard the Chinese a while ago would take the pee out to the outside of the city, let it age. That's why I was outside the city, and then wash clothes with them. Yeah.
Chinese laundry, right?
Yeah.
So, Brother Sage, have you ever done that? Like wash your clothes with your arm?
Not yet, because I'm in a community house
Yeah.
and we all share the washer dryer. I've had to learn how to navigate around my personal hobby, my practice, because not everybody appreciates the smell of my pee. And so
Yeah.
when you're
Oh,
doing,
yeah.
when I'm doing foot soaks and enemas, and if I attempt a bath in the bathtub, I have to do it days before they get home, because that lovely aroma, it wafts everywhere. And so in order to make it work with the wife of the owner of the house, what I did was I borrowed one of their big Coleman thermos ice chests and have everything underneath inside the ice chest, so the smell doesn't come out unless I'm opening it up to take my water out. So you have to figure out how that works. Now in the summertime, I don't know if you guys, do you have a backyard?
Mhm.
You have a
We do
backyard?
here, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have a place where you can get naked outside?
Yes.
Oh, I love you.
Sometimes
So,
of the year, some parts of the year, yes.
yeah, if not, you can wear a swimsuit. But the whole idea is to give yourself a full out massage with your aged urine outdoors and let it sun dry. Either lay in a
Wow.
lounge chair or lay down on a blanket on the grass. And it's an incredible way to drive those nutrients in your body, and you get really feel really good afterwards. So try that. And that way your bathroom won't smell. Of course, if you live alone, you love the smell. When I went to the hot springs about 2 months ago, I don't know if you heard this, Ed, but I took my whole collection, my whole water supply. I had 3-year-olds, 2-year-olds, 1-year-olds, and went to the hot springs and got a hotel room and turned it into a full-out Shivambu spa. And when I wasn't at the hot springs, I was taking baths, doing massages, enemas, everything I could, videotape some of it. And the only thing that passed through my mind as I was leaving and giving back the key was my heart went out to the house cleaners. They don't know.
Maybe they liked it.
Maybe they're into the practice. Who knows?
Yeah, secretly. Yeah. No, I think I do remember hearing you say that, and that did sound like a really nice time. I personally have had some good experience with using like fresh urine for enemas before, and I haven't done them daily yet. But when I do them, I think there was one time I did. I think it was 2 in 1 week, and I knew, like, with my body at the time, it just was probably I felt a little tired, so I took a little bit of a break. But as far as like having successes in cleansing, those have been very, very great. I haven't used aged urine yet, but it's definitely fun. Like working through some of the different protocols, and just working through your comfort levels with what you can experiment and be creative with. And I would love to take time to say thank you to Brother Sage. Thank you, Sage, for just opening up a space like this. It's been life-changing for me, and I've only been practicing for the last 3 months, and so with different protocols. So I just am very grateful to be here, and thank you, for everybody else to be here too. It's awesome community, and I'm proud to be around.
Thank you. I'm glad you're in this family, because you've been great at sharing, and there's a heck of a lot more. The further you go down to the Shivambu rabbit hole, the more you realize that you've got a gift that is hard to describe, but yet it's a personal water of aliveness. And I can tell you from doing this since, how long have I been at this? All right, hold on. Who's popping all these chat things up? I started in 1994, and back then there was only a couple of books. There wasn't a support group. There was no internet. So you had nobody to talk to about this. You know, it was a very isolated way of living. And then here comes the internet and here comes social media and everything is like, oh, this is great. And there's people everywhere. You know, I wouldn't have met Matt. I wouldn't have met you guys. So all of a sudden it opened up possibilities that I hadn't even thought about. And now we're joining forces with people, not only in this family, but there's been more advocates and voices that are lending their name and reputation to this movement, like Dr. Group and David Wolf and Lori Ladd and Jason Shurka and Rodney Levoyer. You're going to hear more and more of these people. You're muted, Matt.
Oh, the Syncretism Society got behind it really hardcore. Santos Bonacci. Just wanted to add to the list.
Yeah. And,
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Yes.
And let's have some more. This is great. And so the reason I did the water family directory is so all these guys can be listed and everybody can find anybody.
He's a friend, Santos. I can text him that.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
We want to have anybody who wants to be part of the movement and not just be a rogue teacher like some guys are. Oh, yeah, I'm going to do all the teaching, but you guys, you're on your own. No, you're part of us. Daniel.
Yeah, I was just going to mention, Ed, I don't know if have you ever shaved with Urine?
No, I haven't.
Okay, because that is great for that. Like I don't use, that's what I use if I shave, you know.
Yeah.
I'm kind of growing a beard right now, but if I shave, it'll be Urine for sure. Like it's just amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
That's what my husband does.
I have
And
put it
one
on
little,
my skin
just one
before.
other tidbit. When I use it for shaving, I've found that when I pour from one container into another, most of what pours is pure and doesn't have stubble. The stubble settles at the bottom, so you can even use most of it for like a shower or whatever you want.
Huh.
And I like to put it in a glass and then have hot water around it to heat it up. So just definitely
Probably feels really nice.
oh, it's just like I'll never shave with anything else. Like tap water, forget it, you know.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
that's good to
And
know.
afterwards, you don't have any kind of shaving cuts.
Oh, I mean, it is your shaving cream. It's your aftershave for sure. You just put that on your face, like it's just so great.
I think that's one of the reasons why I personally just stopped shaving. Like I normally just use like one of those those buzzers and get real close. And so hearing your recommendations and also putting it, even dabbing it on my face with cotton balls, like it's really reassuring, because I do like shaving. And
if you do it with Urine, it's like tap water is fired. When I have a shower, I don't use any tap water. It's all Urine, like.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
So have you guys? How many people have read the book Manual for Urine Therapy Teachers? Matt, Gia, you got to get a copy, either signed from me or Amazon dude. But in there, and this is what I teach in all the classes, is not only the protocols that were discovered up until 2020, but new protocols. And one of them came from Tim Rogers. One came from George. You guys know which protocol I'm talking about? Oh yeah, this came from George Johnson from Tim Rogers. And what you do is you fill this puppy up with your Urine. If you're going to do evolving Urine, by the way, I don't call it aging anymore in case you caught on. If you put in evolving Urine, you got to know that you're going to get that lovely sting at the first. But you simply fill it up, put it in over your eyes, get a suction going, blink a couple times, and just keep it in place as long as you can. And then once you take it off, whatever pours out of your goggles, just rub it everywhere. I got it? You guys have goggles at your house?
Yeah.
If you don't, now all these protocols that I teach are either cheap. All the equipment is either cheap or free. You know what this is, right?
Oh yeah.
Tongue scraper.
The best.
Dip it in, scrape it off. Dentist gives it to you for free. You got that? Ever seen one of these before? They call it an earwax removal syringe. It carries 20 mLs, right? Costs about $5. You can get these guys, and you can either use it for up the nose, in the ears. You might even be able to put it up the rectum. That's up to you. But if you go down to your pharmacy and say, hey, do you have one of those, you guys sell the earwax removal syringes, they'll go, sorry, we don't. We give them away for free. So this is 10 milliliters. This was from Target. Right? The only reason I point these out because this is free medicine. This is the most inexpensive lifestyle, and you can be healthier than ever without having to buy a whole bunch of commercial crap from the store. You guys stop buying shampoo and hair conditioner?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
You don't use it.
We
Are
use
you,
soap.
are you still buying vitamins and supplements?
No,
Are you buying underarm deodorant?
no,
No. Are you buying things for foot fungus? No. Are
No.
you buying suntan lotion? No.
never did. No.
Bug bite repellent. Yeah. So the whole idea is that money's yours. You can do what you want with it instead of having to spend all that money. We've also noticed that we're going to help out lowering commercialization or being consumerism. Because you're not having to buy all these products that have dyes and paper and chemicals in it that ends up being trash on the highway or go to a landfill. You're going to help the environment. Plus, you won't be using the toilet except to poop. So you're taking a stand for our planet by doing urine therapy. Right, Jess?
True. Yes. Right.
She's the strong, silent one in the family.
Yeah.
All right.
I agree. I agree with a lot of things. I guess yeah, like Ed said, because I personally feel pretty new at this. I think I started probably this year in January, February, because I really want to fix my eczema for really. I had eczema when I was younger, and then it stopped. And we moved to like Washington, and it got really bad. And then I would just, we went, like vegan, gluten-free, to try to fix anything. And, and then I just thought about, I guess Ed started talking to me about urine therapy. And because I have a Western nutrition background, but now I'm studying Ayurveda, but still, we're told like urine is waste. So at first I was kind of like, do I really want to think about urine? But then I was, reading the book from Dr. Ladd talking about Amarillo, which is urine therapy in the morning. So I told Ed, I was like, okay, I'm studying to become an Ayurveda practitioner and you're telling me about urine therapy. I'll give it a shot, why not? So that's how it started. But I think for the longest time, I think when I was younger, I think it's funny. I think it's fun too. I guess I pee in the shower. So, when I was young, like ever since when, my parents just kind of have let us done that. So like, I guess I'm always, my eczema on my leg kind of always heal itself from time to time, but I didn't realize that, but anyways.
Thank you for being
Yeah.
honest and being
Yeah.
Are you still I'm going to get to you in just a minute, Gia Maria. Are you still dealing with eczema?
Not much anymore. Yeah. I don't, not much anymore really, but yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, because, I would suggest you start, where was it located?
Like back of my legs, and then like, the bendy joint part where,
behind the knees.
when it's hot or I exercise, I get itchy sometimes, but it shows up in different places. So, but yeah, from time to time, but.
All right, well, that's when you want to start doing compresses and massages on there.
Yeah.
Even if you just soak a washcloth and leave it there for an hour.
Yeah, I definitely want to try because, so, like I think Brother Sage, we're in, Florida, and then on the way back, Ed just gave me that book, your book, to read the whole way. So I finished it and I was like, yeah, I can be this intimate with my urine. Yes, I feel comfortable, but I don't know the way. I just know the drinking way, and then maybe tapping, touching, rubbing way for now. But now I'm learning more and more. So yeah, thank you all.
Good. So
I don't put it in my face.
what's fun to do is just have some in your medicine cabinet. So when you finish doing your thing in the bathroom, like the toilet thing, you're right there. You're by the sink. You're at the medicine cabinet, and just start doing protocols. Bring out the eye cup and bring in the neti pot and do. I mean, it's a great chance to just knock out 5 or 6 protocols, and it doesn't take long at all.
Yeah.
Gia Marie, did you want to add something? You're muted.
Yeah, you're muted.
You're muted, Gia. Come
Okay.
back. Much better.
Okay, so thank you. For the planet, so to speak, there's this talk of, I'm in the farming world, so I work with a lot of farmers, have for years, local grower, small organic farms. And the whole hubbub about fertilizer being not available because it's coming from over there, or, all that. Well, no, we use our urine.
Mm-hmm.
Creating our own fertilizers, which you always have. So I think that's, in a subtle way, Mother is saying that to us. Also, what was I going to say to that about, flushing the toilet? So here in Oregon, the West, so to speak, and around the world, the drought situation, right? We're on a well. We don't flush our toilet,
Mm-hmm.
So that's really saved here. The lady of the land here, she goes, wow, your guys' water bill is really low because it's all monitored now. And we told her, she goes, oh, cool. And so you're right about the flushing. You don't use as much water at all.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a subtle thing that's happening in the world, but it's an important thing and it adds up. So that's how I see it. So the farming world, Orrin has been, and we speak to these growers and farmers about that. Some of them already know, but some are like, okay, cool, we'll do that. We're meeting with another farmer on Tuesday about this. So it's cool for the fertilizer. And other things go in that, but that's the main liquid component.
Well, the agriculture industry knows about the nitrogen that's in the urine. And that's
see, and the urea.
And the urea, yep, and all that good
urea.
stuff.
So yeah.
Now I live with a master gardener, and he's also a student of mine, so he gets excited when he's up to 4 to 6 ounces a day. I'm going, you barely touched this, you barely got started. But I can tell he hasn't really got the connection because every time he's got to pee, he goes out in the backyard and he pees in his compost. He pees out in the field. He pees in his gardens. I said, that's great for all them, but you could be collecting and using for you.
Yeah.
Daniel, did you have something to add?
Yeah, just what Giacomina was saying. I totally agree that it doesn't get any better than Orrin therapy in terms of, like, these people say we should conserve water, right? Well, how do you get more water conservation than this? Like, and I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again, and maybe hopefully nobody gets sick of me as saying it, but when you loop, you run into the fact that you cannot even keep up. Like, I mean, so it's a miracle right there. Like, the body's creating the fluid. That's the only way to explain it. Like, a whole law of conservation, you would think that somebody was saying, if all you do is only drink your own Orrin, then you would eventually dry up. You'd run out of water. Opposite. You run out of places to put it. You fill up all these containers. You cannot keep up, especially over a nighttime. That's why I was saying you build up all these containers. If you drink them all, you'll have your enema. So, like, it's like a fountain within you, so that you definitely don't need to drink tap water, and you don't want to. I don't really need to drink the distilled water, even though I have a distiller from my mom, which she used but she's gone. And, like, it's it's just the ultimate. Like people think it's, you know, they think it's the last thing they want to do, but it's what we need, right? So I'm a member of the Save the World Army, and I've told Smoking Joe McHale, Urine therapy is part and parcel with saving the world, because man, how many people in this world think they don't have access to clean water? Everybody has access to clean water. So yeah.
Yes, and to take it one step further, you will never have to worry about going hungry, because this is condensed superfood. This is the mother of all superfoods. You don't have to
Okay,
worry
but
about thirsty. You don't have to worry about dehydration. You don't have to go down the store and buy any water. You don't have to get a water filter system on your tap.
Okay, now one question I have for Brother Sage. What about vitamin B12?
Yeah, what about it?
Do you take it?
No,
Okay.
I trust the water with 3,000 compounds and the B vitamins in there to take care of that.
Okay, so are you saying that you can get vitamin B12 from your urine?
Mm-hmm. And I'll double check the list on that one.
Okay. Because that's one thing these people that promote veganism will say is, yeah, you still need to take your vitamin B12.
Right. They'll say you're missing all kinds of stuff, but I've been approaching this more of a metaphysical direction. That either I'm whole and perfect just the way I am, or I'm not. And most of the mindset that gets people taking vitamins and supplements and heading to the doctor is the belief that you're not okay the way you are. That you're broken, something's missing, and you got to look outside yourself for those missing pieces, or a therapist who can put you together. Why do you think so many people on this planet have low self-esteem? Jess, you made some fresh. Way to go. See, this is a very relaxed crowd. You can just pee yourself. It's totally okay. So, yeah, you're not leaving a carbon footprint.
That's for sure.
And so you're doing a world of good for this world. And the work of us guys is not to keep it a secret. The reason I kept writing these books is that all the books prior to the 2020s were technical, had testimonials, had research, had evidence. It was all intellectual. But nobody approached, well, how do you talk to a non-pee drinker? You know, how do you introduce it to someone who goes, oh, I heard it was a disgusting waste product, blah, 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 blah. The first thing out of your mouth should be the following. Where did you get that idea from? Because when you talk to non-pee drinkers, you're going to soon realize they ain't got no argument. They can't back it with anything. Well, I heard it from the doctor. I heard it on the news. I said, yeah, that's as far as you went? Now, I posted a while back, and it's also going to be in the upcoming Healing Water from Within booklet, where this lie came from. 1913, the Rockefeller Foundation was created to control the health industry on the planet. That's when they started turning everything around, going, no, you can't use alternative medicine and alternative healthcare. And by the way, urine is a waste product. And that one stuck in the minds of humanity up until this movement started to hit a peak. And now more and more, and I mean, the beautiful thing, if there is a blessing in the pandemic, the beautiful thing is people have lost hope in the medical profession and big pharma, and they know they've been lying. So they're going, what else is out there? I'm desperate. I need healing. And you guys show up just in time, and their mind opens up and goes, tell me more about it. You couldn't be at a better time in human history to be talking about a subject that's taboo and controversial, that it might be their salvation and their liberation. So you got to look at your fears and your anxiety about telling people, you know, because they're going to think what they're going to think, and you can't be writing a story about they think you're crazy, or you're in some kind of cult with Jess. Oh, you guys part of that Shivambu? Yeah, sure. All right, Gia Marie, talk to us.
I want to say something as well. Like years ago, I grew up in the military. I lived all over the world. My dad was in the military in some interesting places. And when he was in the Korean War, he was like 15. I I think I was like 6 or 7, but I was like his little buddy, his little confidant. He would tell me things. But the thing is, he'd say they were taught to drink their urine in battle because he was in the Vietnam War. He was in all these wars. And it's in the Army survival manual to survival case, drink your urine. And I'm thinking, now, you know what I mean? And I always remember that. My dad would say, well, we brushed our teeth with the snow and urine. And this was when I was little, and those things kind of stay with you. Well, when this came into my awareness, I went, wait, my dad used to talk about that in a different way, not like we are, right? But see? So it's still in the Army survival manual as a survival tool.
Right.
Right?
Yes. So wouldn't you say that the last 2 years we've been in nonstop survival situations?
Oh, good point. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. So a survival situation is a personal interpretation.
Yep.
They say, well, only survival. If you're stuck in the ocean, if you're stuck in the desert, if you're stuck wherever it is, that's okay. And I remember years ago they talked about military guys would pee on their rifles.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because it was so cold. They would pee on their rifles. I thought
to warm them up to shoot.
To warm them up to shoot. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. Interesting.
So how do they differentiate between, well, it's a survival situation, or if it works then, why doesn't it work now?
Right. And when I lived in Libya as a young girl, I had camels. The camels urine there. And that was no big deal. I didn't even think about it really then, because it was normal for them.
Yeah. Yeah. It was the same in India when they have the gamutra, which is cow urine.
See? Yeah.
And if you've ever drank cow urine, it's an experience you'll never forget. I had a friend who went to India and she was hanging out with Elatom Elamine, the breatharian, and decided she wanted to gift me with some cow urine. So she brought it all the way back to Colorado and gave me an 8-ounce bottle of gamutra. Right? So you unscrew that bottle and you take a big whiff of it and I go, oh my God, it smells like the floor of a barn. I mean, it smells like there's wild animals doing everything here. So I drank it. It tasted like the floor of a barn. I couldn't stand it. So I used the rest topically. I'm going, not a fan of the cow piss.
Thanks for doing that for us, for our edification, brother.
Well, you take a whiff of it, you're going, people are wired differently in those countries.
Yeah.
Daniel.
Yeah, what you were saying reminded me of an interview I recently saw. It was entitled Check the Water. So they were saying, this one guy was saying, in his opinion, I call it Comuvid. Most people call it COVID, but he figures it was snake venom and it was given to people through the water.
Yeah, I got a take on that. I'd love to share, Daniel, if you're done talking.
Or in fact, I think it was Matt that shared it. And
yeah. So I should be extra clear about it. It seems that the water bit is too far of an assumption. It might be true, but there's a ton of research into venom, and it's totally in pharmaceuticals. It seems to be a really smart soft kill method where you kind of numb the patient with the venom in low doses, but it attacks organs that are already, in a lot of people's cases, diseased already. So what happens is people feel better and then they die of conditions they already had that were exacerbated by the venom. So nobody gets diagnosed with venom poisoning. They get diagnosed with diabetes, liver failure, most common. And they feel better. So yeah, because they're being numbed. I believe in that. I'm not sure about the tap water, but if you put a COVID test under the tap water, it's positive. So what the frick is that?
I'm glad you brought that up. Now, I go shopping at a store here in town called King Soopers. It's like a Safeway. It's a giant grocery store. And in the pharmacy, they got self-COVID testing kits. Like people hadn't had enough of it. So it's almost like, Matt, is that it's gonna show positive no matter what you test. You can test the water, you can test your spit, you can test anything, You can test your doorknob. It'll have COVID.
Yeah, you can go pretty far down that rabbit hole, can you? Because PCR tests are like, we don't even know what they're looking for. The guy who invented them said they're not good to find viruses, and then viruses don't even exist. And the etymology of viruses is really snake venom. It's like, what is going on?
Right. Now, there is a new video. I don't want to use a lot of our time discussing this, but there's a new video by Amanda Vollmer. And she debunks the snake venom theory. So
I really think it's in the pharmaceuticals. I've seen a lot on that. And there's certainly a lot of articles about, development of these venom-based drugs. So it might not be in the water though, because that video of her talking, yeah, that's gone around a lot. And I think she's right about the tap water. But like, it would be easy to put it, if they're making pharmaceuticals out of it and they're poisoning the water with fluoride and chlorine and stuff, they can just throw it in with the fluoride and chlorine mix. So it's not too far out. It's like, Sage, really, you get it right. It's like, who cares? We have the answer. Stop. Stop, worrying. I've got that problem. Yeah.
Yeah, well, whatever they throw at us, we've already got the remedy.
Oh, we're talking about remedies. So monoclonal, this was probably really solid information from that documentary. Monoclonal antibodies comes from horses who are given venom. Monoclonal antibodies is anti-venom. Same thing. So how do they get, my question is, how do they get the monoclonal antibodies in the horse? Is it horse pee? If not, it's probably horse blood, which is basically inferior pee. So yeah, dots connecting.
Right. And so it's interesting your timing, Matt, because Doc Mike ends up calling me 2 days ago and says, did you know that there is monoclonal antibodies in urine? I said, wait a minute, let me look this up. And sure enough, I found a scientific documentation that says urine has monoclonal antibodies. Oh, we've already got it.
We're one step away from the Rogan audience, brother. Rogan audience loves monoclonal antibodies.
All right, so
Same.
why don't you call up Joe and let's get
yeah. Yeah. I was
for it.
I'm
for it. Let's get Brother Sage on it.
Me and Joe going head to head. Yeah, well, anything
thoughts come to mind is like Dr. Group tells Rogan. I don't know. I mean, it's badass, right? It's like, Bear Grylls, like it's not too far out for Rogan, so we can start praying for that. And I don't want to go to Dr. Group for everything. I just love that he's on board. Maybe Santos. I don't know. This is out in the ether. That's the best I can do. I'm a generator, not a manifester. Okay.
Thank you. Well, all these guys are reachable. There is no such thing as 6 degrees of separation anymore.
That's right.
That was another one of those myths.
Yeah,
You're connected to everybody by right of. Did you guys read the Course in Miracles?
Years ago.
Okay, Course in Miracles says a whole lot of things.
Yeah.
And the book is designed to unravel everything you were led to believe was true so you can come back to truth. And one of the things it says is all minds, all hearts are in constant communication. Right? If that's the case, we know what everybody else knows and we're connected to everybody else. So it's just your mind and your ego says, oh, I can't talk to Joe Rogan. He's so...
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't have that thought, and I talked to Troy Casey, and I ended up talking to Dr. Group and all kinds of cool people, even Amanda, because I didn't have that limited thought. So everyone's approachable.
Pee and monoclonal antibodies. That'll be the title of the email.
Thank you very much. All right, Ed, and then we'll go to Gia.
Yeah, thank you, Sage. I just wanted to mention, as far as in the same lines, as far as sharing urine therapy, Urine therapy with the rest of the world. I myself, admittedly, am still working through my own healing journey and how I can express that with everyone that I come in contact with, and my family and friends, which I do share quite a bit with some of my friends and a good amount of my family. But I think it's a really powerful thing, and I'm really excited to be, a part of a community and group that knows this already. And I myself have really been personally discovering self-knowledge of I've been practicing qigong and more focused breath work for the last 3 months of my life. Very much more focused than I have in the past, and really starting to see the differences of it. And then, on top of that, drinking my own Urine has been very powerful for me. And I just think it's really great that, we can meet up as a group like this and to continue to shape our minds and how we can influence the rest of the world, because it has really made a big impact with my life, so just when you bring up that topic, Sage, of how to, the importance of sharing it with others, and the future of urine therapy in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, it's very exciting to me to be on that journey with the rest of you.
Well, I'm glad you're in the family. I'm glad you're on the same team, because we're at the same place that the missionaries were when they first were bringing the Bible and Christ to countries. And I feel that that's something for all the people that were called to be outspoken. It occurred to me we need an outreach program. And that's the reason I was guided to do a tour, so that we can go support and create and put together something so that everybody will have a source of to plug in, to have a community wherever you live. Because the people who need this, they're not on the internet. So just keep putting that word out there. If you have any, if you ever want to role play, Ed, you got some tough nut to crack, give me a call.
Thank you. Thank you.
Or we'll do a 3-way and gang up on them.
Bring it on.
Bring it on. Well, Anthony King, who's the guy who started the Water of Life Symposium, he had a unique way of telling people to drink their pee. He went to he told a buddy, yeah, let's go to the bathroom. I got to go pee. Let's just go in there. And so he's like peeing in a cup and not into a urinal. He says, if you don't get into drinking the pee, you're going to miss out on health and a lifestyle you'll never believe. And the guy was thinking, this guy is nuts. I've known him for years, but wait a minute, maybe he's right. So he's having people drink their pee in the bathroom. So just wherever you can introduce it to people, that is where you'll introduce it to people. But I'm in a situation all the time, because I still do a lot of body work. Behind me is my massage table, and I got a reflexology chair over here. So I have a captive audience. They're laying in a chair, and I've got my feet on their hands. Where are they going to go? There's also a farmer's market. You can go and hit people. Any questions? Any comments? Where are you guys at? Gia Marie, you got your hand up.
Yep. Are you finding people becoming more receptible?
Well, yes. And the secret to being able to be convincing is to be convinced. When your confidence and your faith is at all-time high, people will know you're not kidding.
Yeah.
I used to have this little ego thing going, well, everybody knows I'm into pee. I'm the big pee guru. Some guys are calling me the Shivambu guru. I'm going, wait a minute. But they will just start showing up. And Matt, you might notice, some of you guys might notice this, that people you open up a conversation and it leads into urine therapy. And somewhere in the conversation, people go, I'm so glad I found you. I've had to keep this a secret from my wife, my husband, my boyfriend, girlfriend. And they find comfort in you. So you're helping people come out of their secret water closet and find a safe place. This is what I like about social media, because you can talk about these things in a safe, relaxed environment, and no one's going to judge you.
Mm-hmm.
So Jess, go through your town and start talking to people.
Sage, I do have one question for you, I guess, since we are talking to the guru of Shivambu. But I was, after reading your first book that you sent me, Healing Water from Within, I was just talking to Jessica and myself, and we were discussing using my mom's Urine for for her, she currently is bedridden and has ALS. And so, not only is she fed through a tube and she's being, given that type of nutrition now, but she's really unable to move and things like that, and taking different medications. And so
we talked to her about it, and she seems to be interested because she was there at the beginning of our journey. We talked to her about it, and I remember going to the restaurant, and I came out, I was like, you guys, I did it. And then we kind of just, cheer on kind of. And then she did try it too, because I think she really wanted to, cure her disease half a year ago. And she tried it in the beginning, but now, because she couldn't do it herself anymore, because she's now on the bed. We talked to her about it again. She seems interested, but yeah.
I guess I just wanted to know if you had any tips, because Jessica and I had just discussed of using it through the, just feeding it back through her tube.
Is it through the mouth or through the intestines or through
intestines?
Through a stomach tube. Yeah.
Okay. So, Doc Mike had healed ALS with a client in 3 days.
Wow.
Right. When VJ was at the hospital, I don't know if you heard his story. He was at the ER. His wife would sneak in her aged urine and some of his, and she was doing urine therapy. When I would go to visit him, we're giving him massages. We gave him enemas. We put it in his mouth. There's ways to help her out if you can be there with her.
Yeah. Oh,
If not, she might be somewhat limited about how she can, work with her body.
Yeah, because I guess my whole idea, my thought was I just want her to feel better. And I think urine can really help her feel better. Now, I'm pretty convinced. Yeah. From my own experience and from everybody we have met, and learned from. But yeah, it's healing power.
Are you able to get to her?
Yeah, she's at home, and
we'll be with her for the next 2 weeks.
So we'll be able to be side by side with her for the next week and a half or so, and so that's kind of was our idea, was to do it when we were there caring for her.
Okay, you guys got to get some real serious collecting time in.
Okay.
You got to start building some supply.
Sounds good. She goes to the restroom, I hope. So I know. Yeah, good. She has urine to. Yeah, right. She has urine to collect.
All right. Does she leave the bed to go to the bathroom?
No, we help her. So I have to put a bedpan, under her to help her collect it. So I can just dump it in a jar. It's easy. It's already collected.
Boom. Now VJ had a catheter, so it would come out and it would land into a bag. And we would drain the bag. But we had to do that before the nurse came. The nurse would go, he's not urinating, something's wrong. Oh, no, we took it. What are you going to say to the nurse? No, we're putting it on his face. What? So, Jess, you just got to get creative. And start bringing some. Now, she's at a home or she's in a hospital? Where is she?
She's at her home. My dad's caring for her. And
is Dad into urine therapy?
Not so much, no.
Yeah.
Is he open to you offering urine therapy?
We're going to try to convince him. We haven't start talk. We talked to Mom about it, and she smiles, and it sounds like she's.
You just muted yourself, guys.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think Mom's up for it, and I think she wants us to convince Dad. Maybe perhaps try to, and, to work things out. Yeah.
Yeah. So let him look at a book. You got to get him up to speed. All that's required is to get somebody to do this is you got to shift their perception.
Yeah. So he's definitely heard the spiel from me.
If they have an open mind, there's a chance.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm about to tell you may sound a little bit of a stretch, but urine is blood plasma water. And it's been medicinal for thousands of years. You may want to open your mind, take a look at it. However you want to approach the subject. But I would say get over there as much as you can and apply different protocols. And you could turn this around, no telling, how quickly. What's her diet like?
Yeah, so her diet is just strictly because of the stage of ALS that has, you know, set upon her body.
It's all
She
liquid?
doesn't have much use of her muscles at all, so she only eats
Out of like
the
the shake.
nutrition through the tube,
Yeah.
through her stomach. So it's kind of like I don't remember the name of it, but it's like, you know, at first they had a Nestle brand.
Yeah, can you believe it? They have
that-
vanilla flavor shake for her when she can't even taste it.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, what?
Yeah, but you know,
but
yeah, you look through the ingredients and it's like, you know, it kind of wrenches your stomach and
Yeah.
it hurts your heart to read that that's what my mom has to be eating.
right.
And that's her, you know, not her choice. And so we were able to get like a plant-based formula, but that's her main diet now, you know, on top of the medication that she's being given. And so I guess that was, you know, in my head, it was like the one hesitation, but I know, you know, my answer for that is that it's still, her urine would still be beneficial for her.
Yeah, if it was me, I would switch out what's going down that tube and put urine in there.
Yeah, see, one thing that comes to my mind is a book by John Armstrong called The Water of Life. And you can find the audio book of that, several versions of it on YouTube where you can just listen to the book.
Mm-hmm.
And if I know what he would do with your mom, he would say no food and drink every drop of urine you pass, and then also massage it into the skin. And he has seen all sorts of things get cured with that. He says it doesn't really matter what the condition is. The treatment is always the same. No food, drink every drop of urine you pass, massage that urine into the skin,
Mm-hmm.
and look out, because you're in for pretty much a healing. Like, so when I hear about stuff like that, vanilla milkshake, I'm like, no way. like animal products? Absolutely not. Not a shred of meat, milk, eggs, none of that. Definitely none of that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that links back to like, you know, I understand why people hear, oh yeah, we drink our pee, they go, ew, because you know, we think about our diets like we eat clean, so we know our pee is clean, but they have their perspective on my pee smells, my pee stinks, because and they think about all these things that they eat, you know, pee is kind of gross, you know, if you think that way, right?
And,
From
yeah,
their
one time my mom served vegetarian pizza, but it had lots of cheese on it. I ate piece after piece after piece. And then I was just, you know, doing urine therapy like I always do. And I thought, what's wrong with my urine? Why does it taste like this? And I realized it was all that cheese I was eating.
Yeah.
So I stopped eating cheese.
Yeah, and you're pointing that out to them, Jess. Whatever you put in your mouth is coming out your pee. You're going, why does it taste salty, bitter, pungent, sour? Well, what are you eating?
Yeah.
And that's your pH your litmus paper, your litmus test.
Mm-hmm.
If it don't taste right or if it's too weirded out, don't eat for a couple days.
Yeah.
It'll reset itself.
Oh yeah. See, that's the thing. When you are fasting and not eating, then your urine does become like coconut water.
Yeah, it most definitely does. And it's quite like a powerful tonic. And I would say like even, you know, Jessica and I just spent a couple days in Miami, and one of the days we had spent out in the sun all day, and then we did quite a bit of walking after, and ended up getting some type of heat stroke or something where, you know, our body, we needed a good amount of rest and sleep for about a good day and a half after, and I was still kind of feeling a little off kilter, but the one thing in my mind was I can't wait to drink some of my pee so I can kind of regulate the way that my body feels. And like, lo and behold, it did exactly what I expected to do and more. You know, quite frankly, this time, you know, the sensitivity of the effects of it heightens the longer you do it, and you know, you know, the awareness that it brings. It is very, you know, yeah, it's just very powerful. So, you know, even for making yourself feel better after coming back from a vacation, for me, or, just a daily practice. I think, anybody can benefit from it.
From anything.
And
that should
yeah,
be your
sorry.
go-to. No matter what happens, you going, I need my urine. I need my urine. Now, one thing you might want to try, I do 3.5 mile hikes 5 days a week. And I just take off and go. And if my bladder's full and I happen to be on a hike, I am going to use that water. And what's so neat is you don't have to carry a water bottle.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, what we're doing is feels like a whole alternative reality because all the things that we were always relying on was an external source.
Yeah.
This is a very empowering lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Gia Marie.
Is anybody feeling the difference in their intuition? I am. That it's heightened more and more and more and more.
Yep.
Are you finding that? Okay.
I'm also finding that my creativity is off the charts. I don't know if anybody knows.
Yeah, mine too. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Constantly writing. I'm constantly.
I have noticed that.
Mm-hmm. I do art as a form of therapy.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
So
nice.
Start letting your creativity flow. Start rekindling your curiosity for life. Let your inner child come out and play. You have the ability to be in a place of absolute manifestation, whatever you desire, because our limitations are falling aside. You've noticed that? The things that you go, well, I can't do that. Well, how do you know? Have you noticed that your faith is increasing? And the water helps remind you that the creator, the source, has got you covered no matter what you do. And the more you really dig into what Shivambu is, it almost sounds like there's an energy, an intelligence, and an entity living in your bladder. It comes through you, and you have this life-giving plasma water, which is like, I don't know how many times strength than the plasma that they give to accident victims on the way to the hospital. And you don't need a needle, and all you got to do is grab it, drink it. Daniel, we're gonna be coming to a close here any minute now. So last couple remarks. You're muted.
Yeah, sorry. So Ed and Jess, I don't know if you knew about this, but some people have had wasp stings when they're allergic to a wasp or snake bites, and then they'll maybe wait 15 seconds, pass some water, and then put it in their mouth and hold it under their tongue, and it'll neutralize the wasp sting. So that's just another thing I heard from allegedly Dave is, you fill your mouth with Urine, you just hold it under your tongue, then I guess it's, you got a whole bunch of blood flowing under that tongue.
Yeah.
And it's sort of, it allows your body to just say, okay, here's where we're at. Here's what we need. Got it. We're on it.
Well, that was the thing that sold Andrew Norton Webber, because he was allergic to wasp stings. And he would go into the shock, the anaphylactic, however you pronounce it. He would go into that shock, and he noticed that if he would put some under his tongue, it went away. So perhaps what's going to happen is we're going to be opening up conversations with all these truthers and freedom fighters that are all going on about the venom and the snake. Hey, I got an idea. Let me turn off the recording so we can go wild.
Exactly, and things like that. So I think it's important to harness the energy of the good news that we know, and utilize the community that we have to share stories and spread that good word. So that's just from my own short experience drinking my own pee for the last 3 months. I think that I can very confidently say that with a pure heart.
Yeah. And so this is our normal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you go around and say I drink my pee, doesn't everybody? You'll sort people out. Oh, you don't? Why not? Well, why do you? Ed, why do you drink your pee? Oh, you got a minute? Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Sure.
Gia Marie, did you have something to add?
I did. Speaking to that, a partner that is also involved with you, and that is great. And we had a couple come over here to the ranch and a little short meeting about their community garden. And I had some Shivambu in the windowsill evolving. And she looks over at me and she goes, "Ah, you're evolving your too." And I went, "Oh, see, because you don't know."
Yeah.
Talk about, and he's her husband is a former pharmacist turned alchemist.
Wow.
How can he, you know what I mean? How can he use that Urine and make it into like a homeopathic crystal, whatever. So you just don't know.
You don't know. You can't walk down the street and look at
Right.
someone and figure it out.
And we both all smiled and laughed and we thought, okay, we're in.
Not unless that's obvious.
Yes.
Yeah.
By the way, this slogan, is this backwards?
No.
No.
That's good.
All right. I own the copyright. So I want you guys to take full advantage and put it on whatever you want to and run with it. Okay. I also have the copyright on this. I didn't waste any time because you know how things play out in the world.
Oh, that's cool.
So
Yeah.
what the vision was to have this on the front and this on the back, or vice versa.
I love it.
Just drink it. So stay in touch.
Absolutely.
If you guys want me to come to your home and do some teaching and maybe do a retreat, that's what I've been planning with folks in California and some other locations. So we can spend 3 days together, either have an informal evening where someone comes in and listens to a 2 or 3 hour conversation, it's questions and answers, or we'll do a 3-day purification retreat, fasting, massages, meditation, chanting, sitting by an open fire, periods of quiet, teachings. If you're interested in any of that or even a longer retreat, reach out to me.
Okay. What about you, Brother Sage, coming on another program with someone else like another YouTube channel? I'm thinking of someone I know. There's a group following subscribers.
Yeah, set it up.
Huh?
Set it up.
Okay.
I'll talk to anybody as long as they're relatively receptive to what the conversation, the topic is.
Yeah.
I've been on a radio show. I've been on probably about 47, 48 radio shows, 3 television shows. And every now and then there's a radio talk show host who has a buddy, that they talk together.
Yeah.
Right? And you can hear the sarcasm in their voices when they're joking about it, but I'm the guy who's being real serious. So I've been able to introduce humor. So they don't know if I'm serious or not. But that was in my first book, Healing Water from Within. So you got to know who you're talking to. And it helps if they did their homework.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not going, like, I don't know if that's Amanda Vollmer, whose iPhone that is, but I interviewed her and she didn't know what the conversation was going to be like. So at the first 15 minutes, she's going, what? I thought this was a planned talk. No, we're being spontaneous here. All right, guys, let's do a group hug. I'm going to go. We're going to close this out now. However you hug.
We're huggers.
All right, love you guys.
Love you too.
Nice meeting you all. Thank you, Sage.
Grateful.
Yeah, and I did want to just say hello to Amanda, whoever that is, because I noticed she was there. So.
Yeah, Amanda, we love you, even though you're a fly on the wall. It's all good. Bye, guys.
Hi, Amanda.
Bye.